Let's talk about finding your highest intention, the most powerful intention within you, your purpose. I recently discovered this exercise on how to find your highest purpose or your highest intention. And it is very powerful once you know it, because a lot of the behaviors that we don't like within ourselves stems from lower levels of intention. So some of the outer layers here. And once you find the core, your highest intention, you can really use that as a way to reset your behavior and kind of gain a perspective. Because okay, let's just start with this. I did mine today. Actually, I've been working on it for a week or so, and I just finished it today. It takes some time to do, and it's a very, very rewarding thing once you've done it, I think. So I got the exercise from Tony Robbins, and I've kind of just restructured it here as the layers of an onion, because I thought that was a kind of more visually appealing way to do it. So essentially, we have these 9 layers here, and the thing is, the outer layer here, the first layer, is either protect, prevent, or provide. And that is the first level of intention, the lowest level of intention. So the way that we are going to do this is we're going to start by identifying some behavior that stems from this level, the lowest level of intention. So that could be something that you do to protect yourself, and you might not know this yet, but think about some behavior that you don't like within yourself. Let's say you, whenever you get really close to someone, you push away. That could be one thing. Or you are so frugal and save so much money that you don't like ever spend any money on it yourself, maybe. Or you have such strict limitations on some area of your life, and that prevents you from really experiencing joy. Or you're very strict in some way, or you're very like restricted in another area or something. Just think about some behavior within yourself that you would like to change. And the behavior for me was always like counting pennies when it came to like I want financial freedom. Like that's a really important thing to me. And I just realized that, yeah, you have to take risks, and I was bad at taking risks. And I realized this behavior was coming from the first intention, which was this one, protection. When I grew up like not poor, but like we didn't have as much money as we would like to like go do fun stuff, right? It was like kind of restricted, so we didn't travel that much, and all these kinds of things. And really, I think what it did to me was I was like, I never want to be in a situation where a lack of money prevents me from achieving my goals. Like I don't want to be held back by that. And I realize now that if you start at an early age like me, that will never be an issue unless you like gamble the whole thing away. But still, there was like this thing from my childhood in there. And I realized it stemmed from the first level of intention. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find this behavior that is either trying to protect, prevent, or provide, and realize that all behaviors have a positive intent. So you might like do self-harm, you might drink, you might gamble, you might do some things that seem really unhealthy, but realize they have a positive intent. They're just trying to fulfill some of your needs, your 6 human needs. And yeah, so realize that they're trying to do that. And the next thing you want to do once you have identified some behavior you would like to change is you want to pick an area on your body where that behavior stems from. So sounds a bit weird maybe, but Like it could be a head, it could be a heart, it could be a solar plexus, stomach, your neck, something. For me, it was right here in the solar plexus. And you want to hold that, and we're not going to do the entire meditation, whatever now, but you can do it yourself. But I'll just give you the gist of it. So, yeah, what you want to do is feel into that area and just feel that behavior that you don't really like. But also realize that it had a positive intention, that behavior. It was either trying to protect, to provide, or to prevent something. So, what you want to do now is thank that area of your body for trying to help you, because it was. Thank that part of you that did that thing, that behavior. Thank it for the positive intention that it carried. And then, once you've thanked it for that, really feel that. Once you've thanked it, then you want to ask yourself, or imagine that you were totally, completely protected, or totally, completely safe. Whatever that behavior comes from, if you were completely protected, which if that was the thing that behavior was trying to provide, then you feel into what would that feel like if you're completely and utterly satisfied on that level. What would that feel like? So let's say every time you got close to someone, you pulled away. That was trying to protect you, right? So imagine that you were completely protected now, completely safe, and feel that. And what you can do is, this is not something where you want to be in your head. You want to really be in your body, and that can be a difficult thing if you've not done it before. So what you want to do is basically breathe. One thing that can help is like breathe into your heart. So if you breathe into like this part here and into your heart with deep breaths, and if you can, then try and think about like breathe out for 5 seconds, in for 5 seconds, out for 5 seconds, in for 5 seconds. That can help you get into something called heart intelligence, basically where you unlock the wisdom in your heart. So it sounds kind of weird, but it's actually proven that you have power up here, you have brain cognition up here, and you have some in your heart. And to tap into that, you can do this exercise, right? So if you do that for 2 minutes, just breathe into your heart. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Your heart rate variability will go into coherence, which will unlock this heart intelligence. So once you're there, you should be able to more clearly feel whatever's going on in your body. So you won't be that much up in your head when you ask these questions. So once you're there, you can do this for 2 minutes. You ask yourself, if I was completely protected, let's say, what would the even higher level of intention be? What the next level be? And then you feel like, okay, if I'm completely protected, what would be important to me then? What would be the highest intent? Well, for me, the next thing was freedom. I wanted to be protected, but ultimately I want to achieve freedom. So you feel into that, and maybe you thank that part of you for giving you that answer. And then you move on and ask yourself, once you're completely clear on what your second level of intention is, you ask yourself, you can do some kind of, you can say yes, 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 and then you can move on and you can ask yourself, okay, I was completely and utterly free, felt completely free. What would the next level of intention be? What would my next level of intention be? And then you move on. And then for me it was growing, constantly growing. So having the freedom to grow, actually. In my view, it was like if I if I don't have the freedom, then I won't be able to grow. Then I will be in a survival mode. And then you feel that, and you do the same process again. You thank that area. You say, yes, yes, yes. What if I were completely and utterly growing? What would the next level be? It will be helping others grow. And then what happens here is you're actually moving from, as you go deeper or higher up the ladder here, most people are moving from getting to giving. So it's about here, down here is about getting, achieving freedom, achieving growth, protection. Up here, it's about helping others, giving to others. So the next one for me, this was level 4 for me, was helping others grow. So then you ask yourself again, once you have fell into that and you have like said, okay, now I know that, I feel it, like it's already the truth, like you're already helping others. Imagine how that would feel like. But for you it will be different, right? For you it will be something else. But you have to ask yourself, feel into that you're already doing it. Then the next one for me was setting others free. And then the next one was opening to God. So I felt like, again, it's difficult to like, because you can like think about it and then you can feel it. And once you feel it, that's the right answer. Once you think it, you can like, maybe it can help you, but most likely not. So try and feel it. It should like, just wait for the answer to come. And it's kind of funny actually, but sometimes you just sit there and wait for the answer. If you have faith that it will like come when you breathe into your heart, then suddenly it will just pop in there after like some time. Can take some time. For me, I was doing this exercise, just sitting here, doing 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, breath. And I was just asking myself again, if I was completely this, what would be even more important to me? And then the next one was, opening to God. And that was after setting others free. And that will help me open to God. And after that, it was helping others discover their version of God. And then was taking God's guidance, living it completely. And then my final one was being at peace. So what you can do then, which Tony did when I learned this from him, was that you can like take the experience of being completely at peace or completely free or completely knowing God or completely whatever is your top one, right? And then you can take that experience, you can bring it into the experience just below. That is taking God's guidance. And then feel what happens. And then whatever answer you get, you just articulate. Most likely you'll get some kind of answer when you move down because you're coming from a higher level of intention with a more bird's eye view and you're moving down into a more cynical kind of level. So you get some kind of wisdom right there that you need to hear. Then you can move down and then you can move all the way down doing that, feeling what the prior level feels like on the lower level. And once you get down here in the bottom, then you'll probably notice that when you bring, maybe you bring the 9th level here, being at peace, down into whatever, for me it was not being able to invest in myself, or not like being willing to take the risk of investing in myself, but being willing to take the risk and invest in others, like other companies, other people. So that was it for me. And once you take the being at peace, the highest intent, and bring it down into that, once you still have the hold on wherever it resides in your body, then you can just feel that it just vanishes. It's quite amazing. So the case I saw Tony do, it was like a man who couldn't make love to his wife. Apparently, he couldn't look her in the eyes, and it was just a protective thing from when he was a child. And he did this exercise, came all the way up, came all the way down, and just ended up saying, "I don't need this anymore." So I'll link this down below, so you can download this and print it out and fill it out and put it up on your door or something. So the highest intent, once you have this, it's very powerful. And yeah, just realize that all behavior, all human behavior has a positive intent. That's a very powerful thing to think about. So every time you have some kind of behavior you don't like, the first thing that Tony teaches is just to thank that part wherever it resides, thank it for trying to help, and then moving above and above and above, and then getting that perspective and then coming back down again and then realizing you don't need it. So yeah, that is the highest intent exercise. I hope that helped you. It's very interesting, and you can do it in the way that I described, or you can do it in your own kind of way. It was just like guidelines. The thing about not staying in your head and how to get down into your body, it was just like guidelines. You can do it however you want, but if you just sit down there and like really try and think hard about it, your answers probably won't be that precise or that like true. So that was it. I hope you found it helpful, and this was episode 3 of Road to $1 million. This had nothing to do with money, but this had something to do with mindset. We have a little under 300 days left, and this is my last year of high school, and I'm trying to set myself up for financial and mental success. And this was one tiny step, actually a quite big step. So hope you'll follow along. I'll see you in the next one.